For my multimodal project, I made a playlist for Mary Tudor. Um, and just overall, all three works that I read from her in the textbook. So the first song is Survivor by Destiny's Child. And I chose this song because her father almost had her executed due to not signing something saying that her father's marriage with her mother um, was wrong. And then also because of the fact that she was the only surviving child of her mother. And the Destiny's Child song Survivor talks about like beating the odds, um, being a survivor, and standing up for yourself, like continuing to push forward. And she's still, even after being threatened with being executed, and her councilman telling her, just to sign the document or to apologize, she still didn't just like immediately cower. She was still brave. And of course, she also survived birth. She was the only one of her siblings to survive birth from her mother. And then the next song is Amazing Grace. This is a Catholic song which speaks to Mary the First because she was Catholic, and her religion even prompted her to like execute a lot of people for heresy, for not being Catholic or not supporting Catholicism. So of course I had to include a song that spoke to Catholicism. And then the next song is Savage by Megan Thee Stallion. I chose this song because I thought it was pretty savage that she stole the throne from Lady Jane, and Lady Jane Grey and her supporters were not very happy after this, but it seemed very savage like. And in Megan, savage as in like not feral or like anything having to do with animals, but savage like the way Megan Thee Stallion talks about being a savage is like being witty and doing things that maybe not everybody can get away with or that they can do, like stealing the show or being the person that people talk about. Yeah. And then the next song is Set It Off by Boosie. So I chose this song because I feel like Mary's response to Sir Thomas Wyatt's uprising was very, she was responsive. Like, she wasn't non-confrontational about it. She was open to his challenge, his uprising. She didn't back down. She ended up giving a speech in London about it. She did not flee regardless of what people were encouraging her to do. Instead, she gave a forceful speech, and in Set It Off, he basically says, like, if you're going to talk bad about me, if you are going to be against me, then I can match that energy, or I can come 10 times harder. Like, I'm willing to confront you about it. You're not gonna just make me back down or cower somewhere. And then the next song is Bad Blood by Taylor Swift. This song talks about two people feuding. They're feuding, and because they're feuding, they have bad blood, like they don't like each other. And this, I thought, resonated or would resonate with Mary the First because of her religious affiliations and who she married, creating tension between her and her subjects, which in the text were characterized as incorrigibly heretical. So her and her subjects definitely had bad blood. There was a feud or some type of rivalry going on between the Protestants and the Catholics, which created tension and I would say bad blood. The next song is Hit 'Em Up by Tupac. I chose this song because Mary the First had 283 Protestants executed for heresy by burning them at the stake, which is a very aggressive and violent way to, and torturing way to execute people. And just the fact that she killed that many people that way, it was just extremely violent. And this song by Tupac is also very violent. It talks about killing people in a very detailed, graphic way. Like I've only ever listened to the song actually once, but the first time I listened to it, I was very taken aback, and I have not listened to it since because it's just very gruesome, and that's how I felt about Mary's executions. The next song is called Your Joy by Chrisette Michele. This song is about Chrisette's love for her father, and how, ever since she was a child, she adored him. And I thought it made me think of the letter that Mary wrote to her father, praising him and apologizing for not taking the oaths of succession and supremacy. I feel like the letter displayed how much she respected and adored her father. It was a lengthy letter, and throughout it, she called him, Your Highness, your utmost respected, things that you would only say to a person that you really adored. And this song is about, really loving and caring for someone's father. The next one is called Have You Ever by Brandy. She began to fall in love with her husband, Philip II of Spain, and while she was falling in love with him, he did not reciprocate these feelings, and he was absent. And in this song by Brandy called Have You Ever, she's talking about, or she's asking the listeners, like, have you ever loved somebody so much it makes you cry? Have you ever needed someone so bad you can't sleep at night? And just other things like, have you ever loved somebody that doesn't feel the same way? And she's basically just pouring out her heart in this song to someone that doesn't feel the same way. So I thought this song was very fitting. The next song is Queen by Lotto. And I chose this song because Mary Tudor was a queen. She is the daughter of King Henry VIII and Catherine of Aragon, and she was Queen of England and Ireland from 1553 to 1558. So I had to have a song in there acknowledging the fact that she was a queen. The last song is called I Can Love You by Mary J. Blige featuring Lil' Kim. In her speech at the Guildhall in London, she tries to convince her subjects that she is what is best for them and that they can trust her. I feel like this song is a really good song for Mary because it's funny how they're both named Mary. I'm just realizing that now. But so in the song, Mary J. Blige is basically trying to convince someone that she loves and cares about that she is better for them than somebody else, or she can love them better than somebody else can, and she's trying to get him throughout the song to trust her. And I feel like this song relates to what Mary was trying to do at Guildhall in London. She was trying to convey how much she loved her subjects and convince them that they could trust her regardless of who she was married to, regardless of her religion. She was trying to get them to put their faith and trust in her to end the uprising that Wyatt started. And this speech definitely worked if the uprising ended about a week later. So those are my 10 to 12 songs. for Mary the First playlist.